The Dallas Cowboys just slapped the NFL across the face. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Dallas Cowboys news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is Jerry Jones wants Dallas Cowboys to go all in on the draft. Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones held court with reporters ahead of the draft, with Executive Vice President Stephen Jones and head coach Mike McCarthy at his side. Most mock drafts have the Cowboys taking an offensive lineman on Thursday night. Jerry Jones said, as a former offensive lineman himself, he's not afraid of beefing up the roster with a big man up front. It's fun to be able to take a good offensive lineman, he said. After that, the Cowboys have 6 more selections, 1 in the second round, 1 in the third, 1 in the sixth, and 2 in the seventh. There are many voids to fill when you consider the Cowboys have had 10 departures in free agency. They need a running back, defensive tackle, linebacker, and it wouldn't hurt to have another wide receiver. The Cowboys, who historically have drafted well, can't afford to miss in a draft like this, especially because they are leaning on the guys they already have. Dallas has only signed 2 players in free agency, linebacker Eric Kendricks and running back Royce Freeman. Fans may not want to hear this, but Jerry says they're pleased with the roster as it stands now. We're very proud of our personnel, very proud of this roster, very much think this roster without knowing right now how much the rookies are going to contribute, said the Cowboys owner. We will have young players step up, no names that become names because names have left and are off the roster. We feel great about what we've been in free agency. All in, all in, all in. We're all in with these young guys coming on, and we're all in with this draft, Jones continued, mirroring his comments at the Senior Bowl. The group was also asked about the upcoming contract extensions for star players. When you're talking about big contracts like Dak, CeeDee, and Micah, those things don't happen overnight, said Stephen Jones. Those things take time. There's timing based on what other teams are doing at their position. When asked if the Cowboys would consider drafting a quarterback to replace Dak Prescott, Jerry did not shy away from the question. We want Dak Prescott, and that's that, he said. Some fans on social media were not thrilled with what they heard in that news conference. Running back Jonathan Brooks stayed in his home state to play college ball, and he may not be leaving Texas to begin his NFL career either. ESPN's Adam Schefter reported Monday that Brooks is expected to be a second-round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, and that some think it would be a surprise if the Dallas Cowboys passed on him at number 56. Brooks ran for 1,139 yards and 10 touchdowns, and caught 25 passes for 2 yards and 1 score as a junior at Texas. His season was cut short due to a torn ACL, an injury that has also adversely impacted his draft stock. Schefter wrote 6-foot, 216-pound ball carrier likely would have been the top running back selected, possibly in the middle or later portion of round 1, were it not for the ACL tear. Brooks is the number 87 overall player and ranks 4th at his position in Bleacher Report's 2024 Big Board. Brooks can be a useful committee back in the NFL with a chance to develop into something more, BR's Derek Klassen wrote in his scouting report. He has enough quickness and speed to be a weapon. Brooks isn't built like a true lead back though, and he does not yet have the strength or decisiveness as a runner for that role. One way or another, you'd expect the Cowboys to leave the 2024 draft with at least one running back who can either contribute immediately or be positioned as a long-term solution. After leading rusher Tony Pollard signed with the Tennessee Titans, Dallas has done nothing to meaningfully address its backfield. For now, Rico Dowdle and Deuce Vaughn are penciled in as the top 2 running backs. The franchise had ample reason to believe in Pollard when the time came for him to supplant Ezekiel Elliott as the number 1 option. He had averaged 5.1 yards per carry through his first 3 seasons and managed to gain more yards on fewer touches than Elliott in 2022. Dowdle, on the other hand, had a relatively modest 361 yards and 2 touchdowns on 89 carries as the backup in 2023. Vaughn was used even more sparingly, getting their total touches and gaining 80 yards from scrimmage. It would be surprising if the Cowboys, who once again have Super Bowl aspirations, don't bring anybody else in to compete for the starting job. The second story is why Cowboys must address their O-line early in the NFL draft. It is a good year to need an offensive lineman when it comes to the NFL draft, so the Dallas Cowboys have that going for them. Another thing going for them. a track record of success in taking an offensive lineman in the first round. It's great to be drafting a position when there's a lot of them quantity, owner and general manager Jerry Jones said. If you can go in, and it happens to fit need, and there is a long number of them in the draft, that's fortuitous. That's a good thing to have happen. Secondly, to me, I was an offensive lineman. They're always the smartest, the best looking, and they're the ones that end up owning the teams. And so it's fun to be able to take a good offensive lineman. From 1982 to 2010, the Cowboys failed to select an offensive lineman in the first round. From 2011 to 2023, the Cowboys selected 4 offensive linemen in the first round. All 4 have been named to a Pro Bowl. 3 have been named first-team All-Pro, and the 4th might not be far behind in that category. In 2011, the Cowboys selected Tyron Smith at number 9 overall. He was named to 8 Pro Bowls and All-Pro 5 times, while being considered the prototype for left tackle for close to a decade. In 2013, Travis Frederick was the 31st overall pick. He was named to 5 Pro Bowls and was an All-Pro in 2016. Health issues forced Frederick into an early retirement after the 2019 season, but even in his last season, he was named to the Pro Bowl. In 2014, the Cowboys took Zach Martin, not quarterback Johnny Manziel, in the first round, number 14 overall. He has been named to the Pro Bowl every year but one, and has been an All-Pro 7 times. For most of his career, he has been considered the best guard in the NFL. In 2022, the Cowboys took Tyler Smith in the first round, number 24 overall. He played left tackle mostly as a rookie but moved to left guard last season and was named to the Pro Bowl. With Tyron Smith signing with the New York Jets as a free agent, the Cowboys could move Tyler Smith back to tackle, however. Executive Vice President Stephen Jones compared Tyler Smith to Hall of Famer Larry Allen this offseason. The Cowboys' top need entering this week's draft would appear to be offensive line, considering Smith's departure, as well as the loss of center Tyler Biadasz to the Washington Commanders in free agency. The Cowboys re-signed last year's swing tackle Chuma Edoga. They like the toughness of center Brock Hoffman and the potential of TJ Bass, an undrafted free agent last year. But a first-round pick would be the first all-in move the Cowboys have made this offseason. Stephen Jones said the communication between the personnel department and coaching staff during the evaluation process has been the major reason for their success. We want to draft a Dallas Cowboy offensive lineman that fits in the room with a Zach Martin, with a Tyler Smith, with a Terrence Steele, Stephen Jones said. You want that guy that you pick to be a guy who's going to go in that room and be additive to what we're trying to get accomplished there. Unfortunately, the Cowboys could be at the mercy of the draft gods to land a left tackle, provided they don't want to switch Tyler Smith's position in the first round. The third story is Duke OL Graham Barton linked to Dallas, ahead of 2024 NFL Draft. The Dallas Cowboys have been connected with Duke offensive lineman Graham Barton ahead of Thursday's draft, according to Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer. The versatile Barton is one player I've heard connected to the team, which makes sense given Dallas's track record of success taking interior linemen high, Breer wrote Monday. Breer expects the Cowboys to pursue a running back like Texas's Jonathan Brooks later in the draft, but to focus on the offensive line the first round. The Cowboys hold the number 24 pick in the first round. The team is looking to bolster an OL, led by 2023 Pro Bowler Tyler Smith. The Cowboys select again in the second round at number 56. The NFL scouting department projects Barton as a first-round pick who presents enough versatility to start at any of the 5 positions in their latest 2024 NFL mock draft. In 9 games as starting tackle during his senior season for Duke, Barton helped the Blue Devils' offensive line rank top 25 in the nation with 1.31 sacks allowed per game. Barton missed the Senior Bowl and was limited at the NFL Combine due to injury, but improved his draft stock with a solid showing at Duke's Pro Day. The 6-foot 5.25 blocker completed a 4.84-second 40-yard dash that led some scouts to say he had earned a spot in the first round, according to Sportskeeda's Tony Pauline. Breer compared the Cowboys' pursuit of Barton to the team's first-round selections of Frederick and Martin during the 2013 and 2014 NFL drafts, respectively. Frederick ended up making 96 starts and earning 5 Pro Bowl nominations, including 1 All-Pro in 6 seasons played with the Cowboys before retiring in 2020 due to health reasons. Martin is meanwhile seeking his 4th consecutive All-Pro campaign as he heads into his 10th straight season as a Dallas starter. There's also Smith, whom the Cowboys selected with the number 24 pick of the 2022 draft. Smith's ability to change positions between guard and tackle has allowed Dallas to handle OL injuries over the past 2 seasons and will likely remain a key part of the Cowboys' offensive structure in 2024. If Dallas believes this former Duke star to be a similarly flexible prospect, the team's past success with drafting high on offensive linemen could lead the Cowboys to use another first-round pick on Barton. The Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott are in a contractual stalemate as the Pro Bowl quarterback will be playing the 2024 season on the last year of his 4-year, $160 million deal. With a cool $55 million cap hit, the Cowboys have backed themselves into a corner over negotiations with Prescott,